All is one, Omoware. Will you let me know when we have a few people on so we can go ahead and get started? All is one, Osun Kamibi. Greetings, Olaia. All is one. All is one. Exactly, you guys. As you are coming in, please be sure to like and share and all that good stuff. And you guys, I'm only seeing the comments from YouTube. So if you are entering in one of our Facebook platforms, I'm not able to see your comments, but welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support and all that good stuff. Good health, long life, etc. So, peace to the gods. Tonight, we are going to do a spiritual reading, psychic reading, as some would like to call it, about Kamala Harris. Because I think we have to decide, in this election, are we going to be voting AKA or are we going to be voting KKK? Isn't that what they've been saying? So let's find out what we're looking at. I am going to be using both cards. I apologize. Y'all know I have a zoo. So my dogs are doing something, and you'll hear birds and you'll hear children. And we thank God for all this life bustling around this house, but it might be some background noise. So I'm going to use cards, and I'm also going to use my board. Okay, so I'm going to just start by pulling a few cards, and I'm going to ask, what's the overall vibe concerning Kamala's candidacy? Okay, just what do we need to know about her being the nominee? Being a candidate for the highest office in the land. What do we need to know about Kamala Harris being the candidate? Okay. So the first card that I'm going to pull is the Three of Spades. And this card talks about interference, but it also talks about incremental growth. Now, I want to bring to your attention the fact that this is actually upside down, right? So the right side up for this card is like this, shape that looks very similar to a spade, but this is upside down. So this doesn't necessarily mean an opposite energy. It just means that things may not be as they are expected or as they normally would be. So again, going back to what for me are the fundamental meanings of this card, it's talking about warnings concerning interference, but these are upside down. So I think that the card is trying to say that there's not going to be a whole lot of interference to her being the nominee. It's probably already decided. And I don't claim to know a whole bunch about politics, but I think that it's a given that she's going to be the candidate. Okay, so there's not going to be a lot of interference. But there is that idea circulating here that there would be some people or principalities poised to cause trouble. Okay. And so this is a warning about that. The number 3 talks about incremental growth. It talks about things getting better or changing, expanding, but very slowly. Okay. And this could be talking about, Kamala as being the first African American female to be the presidential nominee, right? That's a change. That's growth. That represents growth for our country, but only a small amount of growth because she's also got to win. So I feel like that's kind of what this card is talking about. So then the next card that I'm going to pull is the Four of Spades. Gosh, so we got a lot of warnings coming in. So this is talking about stability. This is saying that it's going to be necessary for our good sis to be stable. She's going to need to sit down. She's going to need to meditate. She's going to need to collect herself and think very clearly before saying things, before doing things, before taking action. She's being warned to be stable, to pay attention to stability. Okay. And the next card, upside down. We got some upside down energy tonight, the Two of Clubs. So this is talking about partnering with this work. This is saying she's got to commit. She's got to be committed to this work. She's got to want to do this with all her might, or it's just not gonna be good for her, or for those who are counting on her. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm still thrown off by how this inverts. Okay, so if I'm reading these cards like a sentence, what I have here, asking about what do we need to know about her nomination. What I'm seeing here with this card, and I'm just going to read it like a sentence. I'm getting thrown off by the inversion. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that Kamala Harris's nomination as the Democrat's candidate for presidency is not going to be without interference. However, it's not going to stop her from getting the nomination. Okay, so there's going to be slander, there's going to be talk, there's going to be fuckery, but it's not going to stop her from being the candidate. She's going to need to make sure that she is focused and that she is prayed up, as they say, that she is stable and taking care of herself and meditating and checking in with her sources for understanding and inspiration. She's going to need to do that. And she's warned to do that, okay? And she's going to have to commit to this work. And I think that she already has, but this is going to test that commitment. So that's what the cards are saying. So now I'm going to ask the same question, but I'm going to use a different technology. I'm going to use my bone board. And so if you guys are not familiar with how I read using bones, stones, and charms on an engraved wooden board. And that is what I'm about to do. So the question is, what do we need to know about Kamala Harris's nomination? All right. Very little is off the board, so we got a lot of conversation to have tonight. Okay. So the first thing I see here is this weapon over meditation, along with the cornelian. So what this group of charms is telling me is that it's necessary for Kamala to meditate, which we saw in the cards, and to not stop. Okay, so this weapon is pointing down. It's not aiming at anything. It's not ending anything. It's saying, do not stop meditating. And this cornelian is saying that she needs to meditate on a high level, a regal level, if you will. So it's going to be very important for her to meditate without cease. The next thing that I see is here the caution symbol with this hematite in this battery. So she's got to be very cautious. She's got to be anchored in caution. She's got to give power to caution. She's got to be careful. But I think we all know that and we would agree. Okay. Um hmm. I have the skeleton that's kind of equidistant between the rainbow serpent, and the craft. And this skeleton is upside down. So that's kind of telling me that it's saying, witchcraft is not off the table. And neither is heavenly intervention, right? It's too early, I guess, in this process to determine what can happen. They're saying, listen, if some craft needs to be employed, it's not off the table. That's not dead. And if heaven needs to get involved, if we got to call in, some of grandma's prayers, that's not off the table either. So it's saying that these are options that are available to her. She is authorized to have both. She's authorized to tap into that heavenly intervention, those prayers that have been deposited on her behalf from generations before, those prayers that she can cash in on from her good works and how she's positioned herself and carried herself this and other lifetimes. But it's also saying, if a little bit of craft needs to be employed, that's okay too. I have here the tiger's eye over Egungun, over the ancestors, the elevated ancestors. So what I'm seeing here is that, this is being made possible. This has been made possible by her ancestors. This has been made possible by her ancestry. She's been poised and positioned probably for lifetimes untold to do this. And this opportunity was created by those who came before her. They paved those roads with their footsteps so that she could take this walk. My God. So she is exactly where she is supposed to be. Over the root chakra, I have a bottle cap, which is in a closed position. So it's talking about survival, and it's saying she will survive. She's going to survive this. Whether she becomes the president or not, our girl is good. She is situated in survival. And I think that that's probably at the forefront of her mind, which is why it's coming up on this board. And it's also at the forefront of the minds, if you will, that collective consciousness that is her ancestors. They're saying, the most important thing is for her to survive. And I think that this might speak to protection, which was indicated over here with the battery over caution. They're saying, she's going to be careful. We're going to make sure that she's careful and those around her are careful because our girl must survive. Okay. I'm just removing these things that are off the board. Okay. And so not really anything to speak about here. These are also off the board. They're not indicating a tile. Okay. Now, this is going to drain her. This is going to drain her. If you see what I see, I'm going to just start right here. We have the earring that is perfectly placed over the clear quartz, which is an amplifier. So this is saying, listen, and you see the tile is a person who is emptying out their pockets. This is going to drain her. This is going to take all of her resources, and it's going to amplify poverty. And it's not just talking about money. In fact, money's off the table. I just moved that because it was not being indicated. So I moved that off the board. It's not just talking about money. It's saying it's going to leave her impoverished. She's probably going to be drained. All that trying to stay alive, right? All of this abundance of caution that she's going to have to play. Always being on, always thinking about what she's saying and what her next move is and making sure that her next move is her best move. That's going to drain her, okay? It's going to tire her out. But, they say that the presidency is one of the most draining jobs, that people who are president end up aging at a much quicker rate than they would if they had some other profession. So we didn't even ask about her being president and what that would be like. We asked about her getting into that Oval Office, and they're saying it's going to drain her. This attempt to get into the Oval Office is going to be very draining for her. Okay, next I see the boar's tooth, which is a trophy, right? This is a trophy, and it's over the clown. So this is saying that she's going to win the admiration of people. She'll make people happy, but they're also, she's definitely going to get some time on Saturday Night Live. Okay. She's definitely going to be talked about. She's going to be the butt of jokes. People are going to absolutely tickle themselves silly talking about her, making fun of her, satire, all of those kind of things that we could expect. But she's going to overcome that because this is a trophy. She's going to overcome all of that ridicule because she's thinking about these people that came before her. She's thinking about these roads that were paved by the footsteps of her ancestors. She's thinking about these prayers that were deposited for her long ago. And so she's not going to be bothered by the jokes and the fun. And not only that, she's going to overcome some people with happiness and joy. There are people who probably haven't paid a lot of attention to politics, perhaps since Barack Obama, if even then. But she's going to win the hearts of people. And that's what this trophy is talking about. So she's going to win those people over. Here we have the die on 2 over meditation. So we're seeing meditation again, and it's saying she's got to partner with that. She has got to be a meditating sister, okay? For stability's sake, like the card said, for safety's sake, like they said before, but also, she's at war. So she's got to make sure that her next move is, in fact, her best move. And so she's got to be meditating all the time. She's got to be focused. She's got to be thinking about what the next thing is. Here, I have the heart over the man. This is saying her husband loves her. Her husband loves her, and he is going to support her. This is her partner. She loves him. He loves her. They are in love. And that is going to provide for that foundation that the card spoke of her needing. Here, it looks like there's some money that is buried or hidden, okay? So there's some money that is hidden that we don't necessarily expect her to have access to. People would probably be surprised about the source, but there's money. There's money there that is not publicly known and from an unlikely source that is going to help her in this campaign. So that's good to know. This is saying that her prayers are cloudy, okay? This is saying that she's not sure even what to pray for. Our girl is like, wow, I'm sure that she knew that this was going to happen. I'm sure that this didn't hit her upside her head, right? We've all known for some time that President Biden was having some struggles. So she probably was aware way before any of us in the press were that this might happen. But I don't think it's something that she prayed for. It's unclear that this is what she prayed for. And what she should pray for next is unclear to her as well. So Kamala needs to figure out what she wants, what to even ask for so that those prayers can be answered. Because we see here, those heavenly interventions haven't stopped. They may not have even started beyond, her being in this position, which I'm sure took a lot of heavenly energy. But she definitely needs to figure out what she wants to pray for going forward. Okay, I see here that there's going to be something that is going to anger her. It is going to anger her, and it's going to happen in the first part of the fall. So I don't know if there are going to be some type of lies. Let me use my pendulum, see if I can try to determine what might be angering our good sis. Okay, here. It's going to be something that comes out. So it's not going to be anything that's revealed. It's going to be something internal, something inside the campaign. Is it going to be something with the DNC? No. Okay. What is it? There's going to be an event or something that's going to anger her. And it's going to happen in the fall. And I'm not really hearing what it is. Is it going to be made public? This thing? Okay, no. So maybe we'll find out in the tell-all book. But it has been revealed that there is going to be something that's going to shake her up a little bit, that's going to anger her immensely, and it's going to happen in the fall. Right here, I see fool's gold, and this is talking about things not being as they seem this summer. Okay. So I think we have some kind of a plot here. All right. Some type of political intrigue. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, that things are not as they seem. She may be being, well, listen, she probably is being used, right? She probably is, being pushed to the front with the backing of whatever this secret money is, and whoever these principalities are that have no choice, it would seem, but to make her the front runner. And things are not as they seem. So it's not like, um, she was happily chosen. She just is kind of in this position, and I think that that's what they're talking about. Things are just not as they seem, and this is probably going to lead to her being very angry in the fall, as is being predicted here. Okay, what else do I see? All right, so this is talking about her just going with the flow, doing the work that has to be done to get the money that she needs to keep the campaign going so that she can continue to be a viable candidate. So there's going to be a lot of showing up, a lot of skinning and grinning, a lot of kissing babies, and a lot of that kind of thing. And that's just the work, the drudgery of it all. And she's just going to have to do it. But it's saying, that she's locked in. She's going to do it. She knows that. She's not new to it. This is certainly not her first position where she has had to campaign or, be on the trail or kiss babies. So she's locked in. She's ready to go. She knows what she has to do. Now, this is saying that there are some things that are coming to her that are not what she wants. Okay, this is a short piece of my wishbone. So there's just some stuff that she is going to inherit, because this is the cornucopia, which in this instance, I feel like it has a lot to do with inheritance. And it's saying that there's some things that she's going to inherit that she doesn't want. I think that's connected up here to this fool's gold. This is talking about, things not being as they seem. Her now being let into rooms that she wasn't able to get into before, even as vice president, and finding out that she's inheriting a bunch of bullshit. Okay, but she's got solutions to some of this, because that's what this screw is all about. She's got solutions to some of this. There are some things some tricks she's got up her sleeve. There are some things that she has anticipated that she already knows are possibilities. And I think she's somewhat prepared. Okay. And she's only focused on what she does want. Okay. So that positive thought is definitely going to work for her. And I would say that it has worked for her to even be in the position that she's in. So we have the larger piece of the wishbone over the third eye. So yes, she sees what she wants. That's what she's focused on. She's not tripping off of what she doesn't want. She's definitely not concerning herself with the haters. And the reading itself is saying that she's going to overcome those people who are laughing at her and who thinks that this is a joke. She's focused on what she wants. And I think that's a great position for her to be in. More things off the board. She's having conversations about money. We got the cowrie shell and the quarter here. She's talking about money. So it looks like money might be an issue, y'all. So probably some of the funding that was a no-brainer for Biden, some of that funding that was already there, maybe that's wavering a little bit. Maybe she's having to go back and have some conversations. Maybe she's having to organize some things to make sure that that money is there. And I'm seeing that in several places. But we see that there is money there for her. It's coming. It's buried. It's waiting for when she needs it. But it's going to come. It's going to come to the surface for sure. Um, is what it looks like here. And she's just got to do the work to make sure that she's able to access those funds. So here I see that she's going to have to fight. She's going to have to fight. It's going to be a battle. I mean, I don't know anyone who would have thought anything different, but this is confirmation that this is not going to be easy. Okay. And again, we're not talking about her becoming president. We're just talking about her being the nominee. We're talking about her taking those initial steps and being voted as the candidate to replace President Biden. So that is going to be a fight, actually. But this is also talking about her needing to fight, to be a warrior, to be a little bit combative, to give them hell. She's going to need to do that. She's going to have to do that. What else do I see? Still got some things off the board. Okay, this is talking about her being wise, being grounded in wisdom, and having harmony with that. She's learned a lot. She knows a lot. She's well educated and well poised for this. And she studies a lot. She pays attention. This is a student stone to precision. And this is the double-headed axe that you see here. So she's always meditating. She's meditating and she's thinking and she's looking at things from both directions. Okay, she's thinking about, if I do this, this is the great things that are likely to happen, but this is what could happen that's not so good as well. So she's looking at things like a double-edged sword, everything. And she's learning from that. And so that's good. That's going to prepare her well. And I think that, oh, look, we have a betrayal here. We have a betrayal here, y'all. And it's not a lightweight betrayal because the feather is upside down, meaning this is something heavy. And I wonder if this is what is going to happen in the fall that's going to make her mad. And also, I want to call your attention to the fact that this feather was like this. And so it was touching on this girl child here. So now I got to ask, is the betrayal coming from one of her children? We know that her husband has children that she's raised, and we're getting a no. Okay. Youth, yes. Okay, so there's going to be, there are going to be some people that rise up against her that are young people. A youth organization, no, they're not a youth organization. It's going to be a young person. Okay, so maybe they're the spokesperson or the person who voices whatever this is. There's someone that's going to betray her. The spokesperson or the face of it is going to be a young woman. Is this what's going to happen? And this is not what's going to happen in the fall. So this is something else. Is this happening now? Sorry, y'all. Okay, so this is not happening now. It has not happened yet. It hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen soon. A betrayal, the face of which will be a young woman. Okay. So I guess we'll see more on that. We'll see more on that later. So that's all that I have on this particular throw. I'm going to ask another question. If I probably can you remind me what the next questions are? Probably only going to do a couple more because it's already 9 o'clock. Okay, so the next question is going to be, what do, I want to do that. Okay, the next question is going to be, what don't we know? Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. But what don't we know about this situation that's important for us to know to situate ourselves in a place where we can either support Kamala or do otherwise, to inform our decisions, to inform how we move forward? What don't we know? Okay, y'all, the first thing that I see here is this weapon over peace. Okay, so forget about that. This is not going to be peaceful. There is no peace. This girl is going through hell. There's no peace to be had. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is a really rough situation that our good sis is in at the moment. Nevertheless, here we are. What do? They're saying she's a baby. Okay. And this would be the elders um of my court talking, and they are saying that she's just a baby and they love her. Okay, they're saying we love the little girl. Okay, so they're saying that there's still a lot that she has to learn. There's still a lot that she's not prepared for. And this is rose quartz, so she is well loved. They love this baby. Okay, I think that this is also saying that she loves the babies, and the reason I say that and is because if you know anything about the work that she's done as vice president, one of the things that Kamala Harris did, or one of her pet issues, I will say, has been um, maternal mortality. She's very much concerned with women and babies and birthing mothers. And I think that she loves the babies. Now we know that she hasn't given birth to any children, or she doesn't have any living children. I don't know if she's ever given birth, but she doesn't have any living children. And I don't know if that's connected to this, but I think that they're letting us know, that she has a heart for the children, and she also has the heart of the ancestors, who we see here again with this feather upside down, saying her ancestors are heavies. Okay, so that's something that we don't know. Her ancestors are heavies. But listen, I know it, because she wouldn't have gotten as far as she's gotten, regardless of what people think about where she is and how she got there. She would not have gotten there without the help of her ancestors. Okay, so her ancestors are in fact heavies, and that's what they want us to know, because that's the question that we asked, and that's what they had said. Okay, now she's been abused. She has been abused. She's been abused in Washington, D.C. Okay, they're saying that she has been abused. As you can see, this tile is a person, somebody with their foot on another person's neck. They're saying she's been going through it, which, echoes what we see up here with there being no peace. You know, um, yeah, that almost just kind of rendered me speechless. I don't know if she's happy in this position, or if that even matters at this point, because here we are, and she's got a job to do, and she's very clear about that. We saw on the other throw. So she's very clear about her job and what to do, what she has to do, rather. Okay, now here she has money. Okay, y'all, she has some money. She has some financial backing that is going to make it possible for her to get the job done. So if people are worrying about her being able to raise enough money, if people are worrying about her being supported enough to do this, it looks like the answer is yes. So what y'all don't know is that she has the money to undertake this campaign. Um she's got to put blinders on. You know, the previous throw kind of talked about that. And look, we got the fool highlighted here. I'm gonna get into that later. But she's going to have to put blinders on. She's not going to be able to Google her name in the middle of the night. She's not going to be able to pick up the paper and read. She's got to stay focused. She's going to have to put on the blinders and just put one foot in front of the other. She will not be able to listen to what people are saying about her. She has so many questions. She has so many questions. I mean, and I don't think I need to really quantify that anymore. I think that, you know, how she got here, what to do now she's here, what to do next. What we don't know is that she don't know. Okay. That's what we don't know. Remember, that was a question that we asked, what don't we know? We don't know that she doesn't know what it is that she's supposed to damn do. Okay. She is just like, here I am. This is where they have brought me. And I'm not sure what to do next. She is praying that her steps are ordered. But then here we have, just like we saw on the previous throw, we have the ancestral stone here over the prayers hands. Her ancestors are praying for her because she don't know what to pray for. Remember, we saw that on the previous throw. Our girl is overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed, and that's not hard to imagine. It's not hard to imagine that she would be overwhelmed. So her ancestors are actually praying for her because she doesn't even know what to pray for. She's paralyzed right now, with questions, with I don't know. I don't feel that she's afraid, and I actually don't see fear lit up. So she's not afraid, but I think that she's just kind of suffering from some type of paralysis, maybe perfection paralysis, maybe I'm not sure. But she does. I get the feeling that she doesn't really know exactly what to do, and that's what they want us to know, because that was the question that we asked. What don't we know? We don't know that she don't know what to do. Okay. All right, so this is talking about her mother's line, transforming this for her. This is talking about her ancestry again. Remember, they are heavy, they are not lightweight. Her ancestors on her mother's line specifically, they are championing for her. That's what we don't know. Those are the ancestors that are working on her behalf, making this happen for her, protecting her, and ordering her steps and clearing the way for her. Okay, so this is talking about medicine. And this is a student stone. So I feel like our good sis has had some medicine of a spiritual kind. Now I don't know. Let me ask. Okay, so she definitely has her own little herbal regimens that she's involved in, but it's definitely something more serious than that. She's had spiritual medicine, y'all. She's had some, yes, okay? The pendulum is going crazy. She's had some work done, okay? So Kamala has seen about herself, and she's learned. So this could mean that she has had a consultation or two. This could mean that she has regular spiritual services, but she definitely is getting spiritual medicine and learning from it as we speak. That's what we don't know. Okay. She's not well. Wow. That's what this medicine is about. She is not well, y'all. Because I get the anchor. Look, this towel is someone who is in the bed. Y'all see that? And I get the river stone over it, and I get the anchor over it. Now this river stone gives hope because it could be transformation. So let me go to the pendulum. Yeah, so it's saying that she's unwell. And she's taking some medicine. She's learning how to take care of herself. She is getting better. So she's in the process of healing. She's in the process of healing. So what we don't know is that she has some health issues that she has seen about. And her approach has been spiritual. Now, I'm sure that her approach has also been conventional medicine. I don't even need to ask about that. But it may be surprising to us that uh, that she has sought spiritual correction of her difficulties. She doesn't want to interrupt her destiny, and she don't want to spend money that she does. Okay, so we have the large piece of the wishbone, and it is partially over an interruption of destiny and is partially over poverty. So she's saying, listen, I'm gonna do this, but I am not gonna go broke, and I do not want to be misaligned doing this. Okay, so that's something that we don't know. Okay, um, that's something that we didn't know. So she's not going to spend her own money. She doesn't want to do that. And I know that that's what it's talking about, because look here, you see right here we have the tile with money or something just flowing through somebody's hand, somebody just giving away money, right? And she's saying, I ain't doing that. Listen, I'm not doing that. I got the earring and the amplification stone and the snowflake jasper, which is talking about things being different. She's saying, and I got, ooh, the quarter, and I got the heart. All of this, all over somebody who is overspending. She said, I'm not doing that. Okay. She said, I'm not going to spend my own money. I've worked too hard to create this legacy. All right. And I'm not going to spend my own money on this pursuit. What I will do is do what I need to do to get the money from the donors. I will do the work. I will shake the hands and kiss the babies, because there's no limit to how she will work, y'all. Look, I got the bottle cap up, open. She will work. This is a person on a treadmill. She is not afraid to work. She's not a stranger to work. Okay, I got the battery that is over work and over the woman. She's saying, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do all the handshaking. I'm gonna kiss all the babies. I'm gonna show up and be in all those rooms. But what I'm not gonna do is spend my own money doing this. Okay. She said, I'm not willing to go broke to run this race. But here, let me just kind of unpack some of this. She's going to have a different approach to fundraising. I don't know exactly what that's going to be yet, but it looks like she's going to be doing something differently. And it's saying also that she's going to give a lot of love. She's going to pay a lot of attention, probably to some misaligned groups that maybe have not. So y'all, her fundraising, she may have some unique ideas about fundraising. She may go to some groups that have been previously untapped, is what I'm feeling this is all about. She's going to have a different way of approaching money. Yeah, she's going to have a different approach to handling money and to fundraising, etc. She's going to go with the flow. That's her house. That's who she is. That's how she lives. She's going to go with the flow. Okay. So we saw earlier that she is a double, that she looks at everything like a double bladed axe, right? She thinks about what could happen, what's happening now, and what has happened in the past. And because of that, she is able to just go with the flow and to stay on her feet regardless of what happens. And I think if you look at her career and you look at where she's been and how she got here, you would agree with me that she seems to be pretty good at doing that. Here, her inheritance, she's protected, is what they're saying. Okay, she's protected. That's what we don't know, is that she has the protection of her ancestors, who right here have already come through, and it's been said, her ancestors are heavy. All right, they're not lightweight. They're talking about anger again. There's something that's going to anger her, y'all, in the fall. Now, this is positioned towards the latter half of the fall. We saw in the previous throw, it was something at the beginning of the fall. The fall is going to make good sis mad. Okay. There's some stuff that's going to happen that is going to anger her in the fall. And I don't know if we're going to know about it. Y'all, and they're saying that we're not going to know about it. They said that on the previous show. We're not going to know what this thing is that happens in the fall that is going to piss her off. Maybe it will come out after the fact. Maybe it'll be in her memoirs. But something is going to happen in the fall, which is just around the corner, that is going to make her angry. Okay. Um, Let me ask about this. Okay, y'all. I wasn't sure that I wanted to say it, but this is a premonition that she will win. This is a premonition that good sis is going to win the race. I mean, you see it with your own eyes. You see that one of my ancestor stones. This is a person going through the finish line. That's what that tile is about. That icon, and so it's saying, it's forecasting a win. Y'all know that I am not a psychic, and I don't claim to be. I read energy, and the energy that is being picked up on right now is the energy of Kamala taking it all the way to the Oval Office. So we'll see. We don't know what this event is in the fall, but we asked the ancestors, what don't we know? And they have said she could win this. They have said that her ancestors are not lightweight. They have said that it is the ancestors of her mother's line fortifying her. They're saying that she's not 100%, but she's been seeing about herself in a spiritual way, and she's gotten some spiritual medicine, and she is in the process of healing. Okay, she's going to have a different approach to fundraising, and she's protected. And the girl is not afraid of work. She's going to work as hard as she needs to. There's some abuse that's happening. I'm sure her ancestors are all over that, but evidently that must come with the territory. Okay, so that is this reading. And I'm going to throw one more time. I'm going to do one more throw. And I'm going to ask, what do we need to know about the opposition? Because it would just be remiss for me not to ask, right? What are those old Republicans up to, y'all? What are they doing? What they trying to do? What haven't they done? What can we expect from them? Just ancestors, what do we need to know about Kamala Harris's opposition at this time? What do we need to know? Their future is somber, y'all. Their future is somber. But you know what? I mean, the future of old white men running this country is, I would say, yeah, the fact that she's even in the position, I think that would be sobering. That would be sobering for the opposition. Okay, let's go. They're sick. They're sick about it, but they're going with the flow. They have no choice. They have no choice but to move forward with this change. But they're sick about it. They are not happy about it. They had to go lay down and figure out what they were going to do next. Okay, it knocked them off their feet, and they're not prepared. They don't have the tools to deal with this. They are unprepared. They're asking questions. They're having meetings. They're in huddles. They are really trying to figure out what the fuck are we going to do. That is what they're doing. Look, y'all, and we see the safety pin over the man. So this is talking about old white men, as I said earlier. Um, they want to fix it. They want to fix it, and they just don't know. They just don't know how. They want to fix it. I got the screw here too over betrayal. This is a betrayal of everything that they worked so hard to build. This is a betrayal of what their ancestors tried to put in place. This was not supposed to happen. They like, fix it, Jesus. But I'm not sure what the stringy-haired white Jesus is up to right now. I'm not sure if he's answering their calls, but they're saying fix it. Okay, they feel that they've been betrayed. Their prayers have been betrayed. The work that they've done up to this point, and for at least 600 years in these lands, they feel like this situation is a betrayal of all of that. They're really trying to figure out how to prepare the youth because they're worried about their positioning. And they see that the youth is disconnecting from their cause and from their platforms, and they are worried about that. They're saying their youth is dead, right? So the party is not growing. The youth is not excited about the Republican Party, and I think that resonates with me as truth. They are angry and they think that she's a witch. Full stop. That's the sentence. Okay. They think that she's a witch and they are angry that they have to deal with her. Really. This is interesting because they know that she is loved and protected by her husband. I'm thinking that this is her husband, and so that's different. That makes the situation unique. I'm not sure how so, but I'll look into that. So we have to die on one over poverty. Y'all, I think that they have run that I think this is like a one-trick pony and it's over the fool. I think that they're saying, they got Trump and that's it. They got Trump and that's it. They are out of they are all out. They're fresh out of fuckery. Okay. Trump is what they're working with. Yeah. There's not a whole lot that they can do to shift the momentum of what's happening. So I think like the very first throw indicated, she's going to be the candidate. She's going to be the nominee. There's nothing that they can do. They're impoverished. Trump is what they got. They're just going to have to try to fight her with him. And there's nothing that they really can do to prevent her from going on to campaign to be president of the United States. They're going to learn in the fall that they're going to have to just sink into this reality. So they may have some plans. They may be trying to think of some stuff. Here we see them asking questions, trying to figure out how things can be different. But they're going to learn in the fall that they're going to have to get it up. And things are changing. Hematite over change. Things are changing. And there's nothing that they can do about it. Because I get the open bottle cap over the thumbs down. Like, it's fucked up for them, but there's nothing that they can do about it. Things are changing. They're going to have to embrace this change. And if they don't embrace it, they just going to have to hunker down and endure it. What else do I want to say here? They're praying, y'all. Look, they're praying. You see the prayer hands, and you see my feather here. So they're praying, but their prayers are lightweight, and ain't nobody listening. Who they child? Listen again. Stringy hair, white Jesus. Where you at? They praying. Bubba, they praying. I don't know that anyone's listening because we got the cloudy courts. Maybe their prayers are not being heard. Um, their prayers are certainly not effective, it looks like. Um, so this is talking about empathy. And this is talking about them really only caring about their own. They love white men, okay? They're only caring. Look, here's the man. The love, the rose quartz over the man, and then we have the rose quartz here over empathy. They love themselves. They love each other. That has been their focus, and that is not working for them. And that is why the youth are not engaged in their platform. Now they're working, they're spending money to do work. They are trying to do whatever they can to impact this girl's ability to run for president. They're spending money too. Um, but you know, it doesn't look like they're being successful because, we got poverty, meaning not talking about financial poverty in this case, but meaning that they just don't have anything, right? They don't have anything. There's nothing that they can do. They're out of options, I would say. They're thinking about it though. They are meditating. They're putting a lot of thought and power into trying to think of a way out. Some last ditch effort. I had heard somewhere that they were talking about suing the Biden administration for Biden dropping out. So it's like, which one do y'all want to ridicule the man and say that he can't talk and he's forgetting things halfway through his sentences and all of this other nonsense. But now you want to sue him because he's saying he can't be president for precisely the shit that y'all were talking about. Okay. So yeah, they're afraid, y'all. Y'all see my fear tile? You see the lock? They are the fuck afraid. Okay. They are afraid. They find themselves in absolutely uncharted territory. They do not know what to do. And y'all see, here we have our good sis, and you see the heart is off to the side, baby. They don't love them hoes, okay? They are not feeling the women who are championing for this. They are not feeling women's rights. They said over here, they love each other. They love themselves. They love old white men. They are not on whatever this feminist cloud of consciousness may be. They don't even want to hear it, okay? And y'all, I think that is the reading, okay? So I will open it up and take a few questions if y'all want clarification on anything. If you just want to make a comment, I'm going to ask my producer, Priestess Omowaware, to help me out with that. Help me field questions if there's any questions or comments y'all would like to make. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. You could have been anywhere, and the fact that you're here with me, I am absolutely honored and blessed. Anybody have anything to say, to share? Would you like for me to cover anything? Okay. Bulma Burbridge says, was this always the plan? I'm not going to do an additional throw because I think based on what I saw from the card pulls and the throws that I did, I'm going to say, yeah. The ancestors came through and said, listen, her ancestors are not lightweight. Okay. Her ancestors are not lightweight. They are praying for her. They are protecting her. They have positioned her. I think that this is always been the plan. I think she was meant to walk these roads. What is she going to do about Gaza? Well, I guess we'll wait and see if she gets the nomination. Because right now, we got to get good sis in office. Um, and so then we'll be able to ask about what kind of policy she's going to have, because even on the campaign trail, when they talk about what they would do, what they will do, that's just usually a bunch of bullshit. So um I don't like to put a whole bunch of faith in any of that stuff. Let's just see if she gets in there, and then we can wonder about what she's going to do. Exactly. Imagine seeing the first black man and the first black woman president of the United States in the same lifetime. I'm telling you. But you know what? It's possible, because it's just exact change, right? The language of the universe is mathematics. And we and I'm talking about us collectively as the descendants of enslaved people in these United States, we have contributed so much to this country. It's only right. It only makes mathematical sense that we would also have our hand in the running of the country. My thing is, and I'm not very political at all. Those of you who know me know that. I'm not very political. It's kind of like politics, haha, make me laugh, like I don't care much about it. And I even understand why people are saying, you know, she and Trump are just different sides of the same coin. And if you believe that, just flip the coin to her side and go ahead and vote, because we know what that other side of that coin is all about. At least we can see something different. At least the etching will be a little bit different, you know? Um, so, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Well, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't make a difference. Oh, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And I digressed because I don't want to. This was a reading, not you know, a tirade or rant. Anybody have anything else to say? Well, I am honored to be a Black woman in this moment. I am excited to see my sister give these people hell. Okay. I'm happy to see her shake up the status quo. I am honored to witness her do her thing, to walk in her purpose and her destiny, and to not be swayed. Um, it's exciting to me. It's exciting to me. All right, you all. So we'll see how this reading jives with what happens. I really feel like it was more of a look into the behind the scenes. It wasn't as predictive as I guess maybe I had hoped in some ways. But we know that there's something that's gonna happen in the fall that's gonna have old girl angry. Maybe we'll learn what that is. But in the meantime, I would just ask you to pray for Kamala Harris. Pray for her safety. Pray that she does meditate as the ancestors have indicated that she needs to. Pray that the protection of her ancestors is strong and that she doesn't come to any harm. Um, and yeah, it'll be very interesting and exciting to see what happens with this race. So thank you all for joining me. Um, our website is learnorishahoodoo.com. That is Learn, Orisha, Orisa, Hoodoo, HOODOO.com. Learnorishahoodoo.com. Y'all visit the site. We have free and almost free classes. We also have paid classes and courses that have been generously, meticulously, and beautifully curated to give you a foundation in African spiritual studies. Okay, so you will learn a little something about Orisha science. You'll learn a little something about hoodoo. You're going to learn about voodoo, and you're going to learn about how all of these traditions connect. With us as the descendants of slaves at the center, because that is the perspective that we teach from and speak to, so that we can give you right now solutions for the issues impacting you right now. Y'all know I love you. I love y'all like I love myself. I love you truly. I love you deeply. And I love you timelessly. Thank you for being with me this evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. Um, and I pray to see you again very soon. Be sure to like and share this video. Be sure to visit the site and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch every video that we put out. We need your support and we appreciate it greatly. Good night.